Hello, thank you for coming to watch this video today about MA Commercial Photography. My name is Rachel Louise Brown and I'm the course leader for this incredible course. And I'm going to talk you through the structure and various aspects of it. And then at the end, I'm going to give you my email address in case you have any further questions. You can reach out to me. So MA Commercial Photography is aimed at those who want to pursue a commercial photographic career. So we don't specify a type of photography for that. We think that all types, all genres of image making are commercially viable. So we want to help you and your style have a successful commercial career upon graduation. The course has a strong creative and conceptual approach, but we place equal emphasis on giving practical skills and technical workshops, which form an important part of our extremely intense, diverse syllabus, along with the chance to improve and to hone your business and professional identity. Who comes to study with us on the MA Commercial Photography course? So we have people who are aiming to build technical skills, people who want to find their visual voice, those who want to develop a clear understanding of the professional photographic industry and what is considered to be the commercial sector, and those looking to career change. Who teaches on MA Commercial Photography? We have lots of incredible industry experts coming in and teaching into the course, but there are three of us who run, structure, and deliver the core content. So there's myself, I'm Rachel Louise Brown. I am a fine art, a commercial and editorial photographer. I also had a previous life for 8 years as photo director at Harper's Bazaar. I've worked for Tim Walker for British Vogue. I have a kind of multifaceted background. And I also studied my BA at LCC and then a subsequent MA. We have Susanna Brown, who's an incredible curator, writer on photography. Susanna has written many, many books, including what is about to come out, a book about Chanel. She's also curating Tim Walker's upcoming exhibition at the National Portrait Gallery. And we have Kalpesh Lathigra, who is a fantastic fashion, portrait photography, and fine art photographer who's just had a huge solo show of his work in Mumbai. We have visiting practitioners and associate lecturers who teach into the course as well. Cheryl Newman, Katja Meyer, Diane Smythe, Rosie Wadey. Look them up. Look us all up. You need to know who you're being taught by. As well as this, we have other people coming into the course as well. MA Commercial Photography is structured over 5 units. The first kind of meatiest unit is commercial photography in practice. And during this long, currently 18-week unit, you hone your image making skills and you develop your style as a commercial photographer. So whatever your genre is, we help you develop that. It provides you with robust theoretical and practical frameworks for the research and production of short series of images on a chosen theme. So we set you hypothetical briefs, which are short and quick, and you get to play. So you're going to cover idea generation here, research, the role of text, picture editing as well for different iterations of commercial practice. And you're going to learn lots in terms of technical workshops. We run masterclasses on lighting. You get to experience film developing, printing in the darkroom, lots of different things, which then results after the 18 weeks in a work in progress show. So here are a few images from our most recent one here, which was a huge success, where you get to look at all of your work together and kind of see where to develop next. The second unit that we runs alongside this, and Susanna Brown leads on this unit at present. And this is Histories and Theories of Commercial Photographic Practice. And this unit is going to position your knowledge of contemporary photographic and commercial practices within various historical contexts. So you're going to look at significant photographers, movements, some of the top agencies in industry, and get to think thematically about where your work could position itself within the broader scheme of the industry. The third unit that we run, which is actually a cross-department unit and a cross-college unit, is the collaborative unit. This 10-week unit is designed to enable you to identify, form, and develop collaborative working relationships with a range of potential partners. So we pitch to you a number of options that you can choose from, and then you choose whichever is best and most relevant for you and what's going to push you and develop you the most. The one that I currently run within the collaborative unit options is the D&AD New Blood Awards, which are industry-facing awards for art directors, image makers, and at the moment we collaborate with MA Design for Art Direction students as well. This unit will then end in a exhibition. At the moment, that is at the prestigious Copeland Gallery in Peckham. I can't speak to where that may be in the future, but the end result is also an exhibition of the work that is created within these smaller group option projects. One of the examples that we have worked on previously was with picturing high streets. So we had an option where students could document the current state of the British high street, and it resulted in a book, North and South. The students not only made work for this book, but they worked with a designer to create it. They also oversaw the printing and publishing of the book. Here are some of the images that were within it. It threw lots of students out of their comfort zone, which was amazing. We had some winners of awards with this work, but it was also launched at the Photographers Gallery in London, and all of the photographs were projected on a huge display outside the Photographers Gallery in what's called the Photography Quarter in Soho in London. So their work got to be seen by a huge public audience. So that was one previous example of an option in the collaborative unit. The fourth unit that we run, launching just as the collaborative unit ends, is professional identities and portfolio developments. So in this unit, you explore and develop your working knowledge of contemporary business practice with an emphasis on your operation as a freelance practitioner. So not only are you going to examine contemporary practices, trends, and media convergence within commercial photography genres, but you're going to look at where your work sits. You're going to develop a portfolio of work that's as strong as it can be. You're going to look at your website. You're going to look at your branding, how you reach out to industry. We're going to look at copyright laws as well. And we're going to look at how you oversee productions within your work. So, commercial photography can often mean working with a very large team. You're going to learn how to do that within this unit. And at the end, we are currently partnering with SCAD, which is the Savannah College for Art and Design, and their students come over. They're incredibly developed, very talented people, and they come and you do a portfolio review with them. In the future, it may be with them, it may be with a different college, but then at the end of the course, as you've finished your final major project, which I'll speak to next, you will have an industry-facing portfolio review with many people from industry, and this particular unit is really helpful in preparation for that. And then Unit 5 kicks in during the summer term, and this is another long, meaty unit. But this time, instead of with Unit 1, where you worked on short, sharp briefs across 18 weeks, for this, you're working on one very long, self-directed project that is very meaningful for you across a similar amount of time. So we support you in developing your projects through from an idea seed to something that is ready to be shown in your final major project graduate show. We often have these particular questions asked about the course, so I'm going to speak to them now. The contact hours vary. We start off in the first term with significantly more contact hours as we're developing you, we're training you technically, we're going on visits and reaching out to industry in that way. You're visiting and seeing work in situ for inspiration. So we tend to work in the first term across 3 days. The second term, it's about 2.5 days. The third term, 2.5 days. And the final term, we go down to the expectation of a day. The reason being that there are, as you move through the course, more time is placed on you needing to create your outputs for the final show. But also you can take classes across the university. So you could be learning how to create a book in book arts. You could be learning how to work with certain various other softwares that you've never worked with before that are useful for your practice with the digital space. So you need to be making the most of your time here, and you need time to shoot. So you should be using the studios, you should be taking equipment out, going and creating the work to improve and to hone and evolve your style. The typical size of our cohort, it varies year on year, but we are generally between about 25 students and 37. We then, for technical workshops, split the group. So when you're in a technical workshop, you're never in a group of more than 9 students. And the same with when we're doing kind of crits on portfolios, we go down to that small number. Can I work alongside study is a question that we get often. Absolutely. I'm from a very working class background. I had to work many jobs to get through education, and I'm very, very supportive of that. We have many students who work. So, we just would like to know, and we can help you shape your timetable to suit based on that. We try to be very specific about the days that we expect you in course for contact hours, but then, you can definitely book in work around that. The balance of theory and practice. So I would say it's about 80% practice, 20% theory, with a lot of that theory taking place during Unit 2, Histories and Theories. How do you prepare for the course? Come wanting to learn, come wanting to evolve. We expect people to have skills, we expect people to have a history within photographic image making to a certain level. We will then help to level you up where you may be lacking in certain skills, but we want you to have an appetite to learn, an appetite to, grab the course and really roll with it. One of the things I would say is come with those idea seeds. We talk about that more. I love an idea seed, something that can grow for your final major project, So come already knowing what some of your interests are and what you potentially may want to develop during that time. Even if it's just a little seed, have some of those. I'm not going to speak too much to this because you would be hopefully looking around on the LCC website to learn about all of these things, but I would like to let you know that we really, as a course, encourage you to meet these various different departments across the college. It's so important that who is in the 3D workshop, the creative technology lab, the digital space, the staff in the kit room where you get your lighting and your cameras from. Printing and finishing and printmaking are so important too, to realize the outputs of your work. So we encourage that from the very start of the course. We will take you to meet them. We then have course-specific facilities that are incredibly strong and at the forefront of photographic image making. We have studios that are for still and moving image. We have location lighting kits. You can also work with some of the old technologies and alternative processes as well. So we have black and white color film processing. Make the most of that. Even if you've never used film before, use it. It helps you to think about image making differently. Get in the color darkroom, the black and white darkroom, learn how to scan negatives and prints. High-end color management is so important, particularly in the commercial world. We have an amazing digital post-production suite, C-type printing that you can use, so you can print your digital files like it's gone through color darkroom chemistry. We also have professional inkjet printing. Incredible technicians there for you to learn from and to work with to realize your work at the very, very top professional level that it should be. We have lots of cameras and lighting. I won't go through this, but screen grab it and look up the equipment. There's way more than that as well, by the way, because we've just bought lots of new. Software-wise, you get a Capture One license for free when you're with us. There is a very discounted rate on the Adobe Creative Cloud, and you can also, if you choose, build a Cargo Collective website for free. We are incredibly connected to industry because of myself, Kalpesh, and Susanna, and all of those amazing ALs and visiting practitioners that I mentioned previously. We are always meeting new people too, and we get them in. We work with brands as well on live briefs. Some of the visits and talks programs here that we've met with before. So again, screen grab this, look them up so you can see the caliber of people who we go to see. This was an incredible visit of Gabriel Moses at the 180 Studios on the Strand. The visits program and the talks program is very heavily weighted towards Unit 1, that first term, but we still do many throughout the rest of terms 2 and 3. We want that inspiration to keep going. And then, as I mentioned, at the very end of the course, we have an industry-facing portfolio review where you get to showcase your portfolio that you have made to industry. So we've got, partners from the TV industry, from publishing, from the advertising world, from museum collections. We're very, very diverse in what we consider to be commercial, and we've had huge successes from this particular review program. So that happens every year at the end of the course. Some of the technical workshops that you can do during the course, again, heavily weighted to Unit 1, where we're getting you all leveled up. You're going to do masterclasses in Capture One, Photoshop, retouching. You're going to learn moving image is super important now. So the very basics of moving image with DaVinci and Premiere. You learn how to develop your own film. You can also have our technicians develop film for you. It just takes a little bit longer. So you can also do it yourself if you have time, but make the most of that because that's a huge expense that's covered. You learn all the different lightings and cameras for moving image and stills. We learn how to record audio. We're thinking a lot about AI and future technologies. We do still life masterclasses with amazing practitioners coming in from industry. And sometimes we throw in an alternative process. So here's an example of a cyanotype that one of our students made. A lot of this is within course. There are other options too that the photography department offer. There are open access workshops that you can select from. So we've had students doing solarization recently. If you're interested in alternative processes, look that up. And then just speaking to some of our alumni successes. So Anne Lu won the Hannah Mueller Photo London Award, and she was the overall winner with her graduate project. We were very, very proud. Veal Niranen, his final major project, one of the portraits, was a winner at the Taylor Wessing Portrait Prize at the National Portrait Gallery in London. It was also a winner of Portrait of Britain and included within the Royal Photographic Society's 166th exhibition. That's another image from his final major project. Zhenghan Huang, her final major project was on display very recently at the Fuji X Space in Shanghai. Sarah Larby, her graduate final major project book was acquired by the V&A Museum. What a huge accolade. She was photographing various artists with their tools, a very simple idea, but absolutely beautifully executed. And this is Sarah with her book that's now in the collection at the V&A. Barbara Lundgren, still life photographer, absolutely smashing it across industry. She's shooting for Vogue, she's shooting for Burberry. Her work is incredible. Please look it up. Yulai Su, who's just graduating now, he's been shortlisted for the Sony World Photo Awards, and we find out if he's one of the top winners very, very soon, but his work is on display as part of the exhibition. Atul Prasad, another alumni, recently shot a huge campaign for Nike in Mumbai. These are some of the examples there. And then Stefan Whale, another recent graduate, he's graduating actually in 2 weeks' time. His graduate project has been publicized everywhere, but We Present has done an interview with him. So again, Google We Present Stefan Whale, and you will see his incredible final major project there, and you can learn a little bit more about the backstory to that. So, just to give you all some ideas, some little seeds for your own final major projects, should you come to study with us. And as I mentioned, we are very connected to industry. We, particularly in Unit 4, Professional Identities, we give you live briefs to respond to. So by that point, which it begins just at the spring break, we expect you to be ready. So you've spent that first term into a bit of the second term learning skills, playing, hypothetical briefs, visits, talks program, getting lots of inspiration. And then we hit you with the industry facing live briefs. So here are some examples. So with Capture One, we've had students go out and create work in the Dead Sea. For Defected, we've had students go out to Ibiza to document a night at Pasha. We've done still life projects with brands like Cubits, nice glasses brand. Harry, London-based, global renowned fashion designer. Students have done work with him. We bring lots of different types of live briefs to the table. Some that we're working on at the moment are with Polaroid, with Popsa, the international book company, so where you can make your own photographic books. So just some examples there. Again, we're very, very connected to industry, and we're always reaching out to industry to get amazing live briefs for our students. LCC have a fab industry mentoring scheme that we encourage you to apply to. We have students right now that have been paired with people from the photographic and visual industries. And then to apply for our course, this is what we require. So, the usual basics, personal details, your employment history, previous education, your CV. Most importantly, we look to your personal statement, your portfolio, and your video task. So your portfolio, we expect it to be a collection of work that shows how your creativity has developed to whatever stage you are at. We want to see that you're going to come and learn from us and improve. So do show us your best work, but do not worry if it's not, top level, high production value. We are not looking for that. We want to see people who have incredible ideation and that want to come and develop with us. So we wanted to show your ability to work with, different materials, themes, techniques, and a little bit into your research process. That's always very useful. So how do you develop and plan your ideas? Show us that through your portfolio. Your personal statement. Tell us about your interests. Tell us about who you are and why you want to study with us on this course. For your video, just a few minutes, we want you to talk to us about one of the projects that's in your portfolio. Tell us about your ideation. Tell us about any problems that you encountered and how you overcame them. It's super useful for us to hear you speak about one of the projects that you have within your portfolio. And then if you have any questions at all, particularly about the course, you can email me. So my email is at the top there. For general inquiries about LCC, accommodation, admissions questions, student support, scholarships and fees, you would need to reach out to those specific departments. But anything about the course, do feel free to reach out to me. And thank you for watching.